All right, guys, today we're going to be doing some unboxings. I've never done 3 unboxings. We're going to do 3 unboxings. So let's share what that is. We have 3 brand new Paul Reed Smith SEs, and we're going to be reacting to them. That's what they asked for. They asked me if I would check out the new PRS SEs, and here's what's really going to be cool. I talked to PRS and they were good with it, so I'm going to be giving away one of these guitars. To enter to win, there'll be a link down below. Like I always say, no one will contact you on social media. You're just linking right to www.knowyourgearpodcast.com. Go there, and we'll talk about that towards the end. Here we go. First one. Okay, so much cardboard today. Let's throw that under the ear. Okay, here we go. We have the standard Paul Reed Smith SE gig bag. I didn't think about all these boxes. There's gonna be a lot of boxes today. Okay, so standard Paul Reed Smith SE gig bag comes in chocolate brown, has the SE logo, says PRS. I show this in every time I show a Paul Reed Smith gig bag. One of my favorite features is there's Velcro here, and there is a hanger right here, so you can hang the gig bag in a closet or somewhere. Like I always say, you probably shouldn't do it with the guitar in it, but you know, that's up to you. What do we have? Oh, we have a tremolo arm, so this is definitely gonna have tremolo. Oh, and we have the information. Look at that. Okay. Warning. No, it just says thank you for choosing PRS. But the other one does say warning. Warning, if you live in California, this can give you cancer. All right, so here we go. We've opened it. We have the foam insert, and oh wow, look what we have. We have a Paul Reed Smith SE SAS. What we have is a 3-way switch tremolo. We have a volume and a tone control with a push-pull. We have a maple neck with a maple fretboard, and the fretboard is a separate piece of wood, right? Absolutely. And we have abalone birds, standard tuning keys. It is made in Indonesia at the Cortec factory. We have a 2-piece neck right here. There's a scarf joint right here. So this headstock is a single piece, and this is a single piece of wood. So actually we say 2-piece, but really, of course, if you add the fretboard, now you have a 3-piece neck. This is a new carve right here. So this is different. We talk about the handshake on this channel all the time, about how comfortable it is to hold the guitar right there, kind of play in that area. They redesigned this at PRS to make this actually more comfortable, smaller, smoother, better, and it absolutely is an improvement. So very cool. And of course, look at that top ash body. The backplates are on top, they're not recessed in. The body is made of 3 solid pieces of ash, and you can see here where I've traced it, you can see where they glued them together. Now looking at the neck, we have a dual action truss rod and a 25-inch scale neck with a graphite nut, 22 medium jumbo frets, and a wide thin neck profile shape, so it's going to be very familiar to any of you who've ever played the wide thin profile on the SEs. Let's give you some dimensions on that. The depth of the neck at about the 1st fret is 20.64 millimeters or 13/16, and the neck depth at the 12th fret is 22.6 millimeters or 57/64. Now the width of the nut is pretty standard at 42.85 millimeters or 1 11/16, and at the body it expands out to 57.15 millimeters or 2 1/4 inches. The fretboard radius is 10-inch, which is pretty standard for Paul Reed Smith guitars. This guitar showed up with the neck pretty much dead straight with almost no relief, and the action sitting at about, looks like 2 millimeters, maybe 2.25 on the 12th fret or 0.08. Let's check the nut slots, and if we push down on the 3rd fret and check to see the gap between the string and the 1st fret, you can see very little to no play, so the nut slots were cut really nice. So I hope this is a sample of what most people are going to receive when they get it out of the box. Another pleasant surprise was the frets were level, so let's go ahead and check the fret ends to see how well they polished the fret ends, and feels pretty good. Looking there, you can barely see any scratches. It's definitely a 4.5 out of 5. Looks really good. Let's check the bass side. Checking out the bass side, let's go ahead and see, and it feels a little bit more rough. It feels pretty good though. You can see just a few more scratches for sure. This is definitely a 4 out of 5 because they're super light. But another thing I know you guys like is to see how the bridge feels. So let's check the bridge. I don't feel any sharp corners or edges. The design is nice and rounded off, but more importantly, if you look, the grub screws are all recessed in, so you don't have to worry about any of that shredding up your hand. And what's great for this video is all 3 guitars have the same bridge, so the design of the bridge is consistent, but we'll check if there's anything out of sorts with the other bridges. Okay, so let's look at these pickups. Now, the first thing I just want to share is that the bridge and the neck pickups are pretty standard with an SE. They're 8515 S's, which is their import version of their 8515s. The middle pickup is called the AS01, which AS stands for Alnico and Steel. First, we're in the bridge. This is push down, tone control all the way forward, volume all the way forward, push down. We have 7.6K. For the neck pickup, we are sitting at 7.25 or 7.24, and the middle pickup, we're sitting at 3.78. Let's look inside the cavity. Couple things we're going to notice. We have a 500K alpha pot for the volume control, 500K push-pull pot for the tone control, and we have a three-way switch. Wiring wise, looks pretty normal. We have a capacitor for the tone control, and then we have shielding paint. It's put in there, applied in there, but you can see they missed a big section right there. The back of the plate has shielding on it. We have a metal football plate for the output jack plate. And for reference, this guitar came in at 7.83 pounds, almost 8 pounds, and this one sells for about $8.49 on the street. Beautiful. Let's go to the next one. And same as before, we're going to check the pouch to make sure if there's any special. This one also has a tremolo. This is the CE. Let's get rid of this. CE Custom 24. That's right, CE SE CE. There's a lot of letters, which means it's a bolt-on. This is one of my absolute favorite Paul Reed Smith guitars, the CE. We have a maple cap. Beautiful, beautiful color. Coil split on the tone control, volume, three-way switch, bird inlays, graphite nut. We have, again, a two-piece neck, three-piece if you consider the fretboard, right? Same exact neck carve and neck carve bolt system. So very, very cool. So on the CE24, unlike the Swamp Ash, this is a mahogany body, but it's also three pieces. I went ahead and drew the lines so you can see where they join the three pieces. We have 6 standard PRS non-locking tuning keys. This is made in Indonesia at the Cortec factory as well. Of course, we have that new neck joint design. You can see here, this is the core one, and the core one is nice, but I prefer the new SEs, and I'm hoping maybe the core will adopt that. If we flip it over, you can see here we have this beautiful quilt top, but it's a veneer on a maple cap. So we do have mahogany with a maple cap right there, if you see the edge, and then they go ahead and then just put a flame veneer over the hard maple cap. We have an ebony fretboard, which I think is a great choice for this guitar. So that's something different again than the core. Where you would get rosewood, you're going to get ebony with this. You also get the graphite nut. So you get dual action truss rod, 25-inch scale, graphite nut, 24 medium jumbo nickel frets. This one you get mother of pearl bird inlays instead of the abalone. This one still has the 10-inch radius fretboard. This one also has a wide thin neck with the depth at the nut at 20.64 millimeters or 3/16, and the neck depth at the 12th fret is 22.6 millimeters or 57/64. We have the nut width at 42.85 millimeters or 1/11/16, and we have the width of the neck at the body sitting in at 57.15 millimeters or 2¼ inches. This one also comes standard with 9 to 42 gauge strings and of course the gig bag. This one came with a slight relief in the neck, but the action came in at just right on 2.25 millimeters, which is also 0.08. Let's go ahead and check the fret ends. Okay, so let's check the fret ends, and that's really good. Basically, that's definitely a 4.5 out of 5. It's almost a 5. I mean, you can barely see a mark, but it's pretty close to perfect on this one. Let's check the bass side. On the bass side, that's a 5 out of 5. It didn't make any snags or marks at all. It looks pretty good. You get the 8515S pickups, again, just like the Swamp Ash Special and the other Custom 24, and of course the same tremolo. As you can see here, the bridge pickup is coming in at 7.65, and the neck pickup is coming in at 7.08. So that's your DC resistance. So there you go on those pickups. So let's look inside the electronics, and we have the same 500K alpha pot right here for the volume, 500K push-pull for the tone control, and of course the same three-way switch, and about the same level of quality in the shielding paint and how it's applied. Again, it's just missing some areas, and for the record, this one is also a shielded back cover, and then the claw looks about the same. It looks like the same exact bridge, because it is very consistent on all fronts here. This one also has the metal football plate. And so you know this one weighs about 7.54 pounds, so 7.5 pounds, and has a street price of about $699. Very cool. Let's put this here. All right, we're losing room here. Okay, so this next one's gonna get tricky because I'm running out of bench space. What do we have here? We have the same gig bag. And in this compartment, we have a tremolo arm. So the third one is gonna also be a tremolo guitar. Okay, so what do we have here? This is a Paul Reed Smith Custom 24, and this is not a new model. So this is the 24 SE. What is new? It's a quilt top with a matching quilt headstock and a new color. Does it say the color on here? It doesn't. It doesn't. I'll put the name of the color right here. We have coil split. We have three-way switch, volume and tone, tremolo. We have binding, plastic binding on the body, the neck, and the headstock. Standard tuning keys also. All three of these are made at Cortec in Indonesia. All three of these have the back plates sitting on the surface, not recessed. This is a set neck. This is just crazy how good this looks with this quilt. Like the depth of it, it's like a gray purple look to it. Like it's the purples on top and then there's a gray behind it. So that's the 3 new Paul Reed Smith SEs. For 2023, this is the 4th quarter. Okay, so let's go over some sounds and check out this Swamp Ash special because it's pretty cool. It has a little bit of switching stuff going on, and it might be confusing, so I'm going to try to keep it simple. So basically, here's how it works. It has a 3-way switch, a volume and a tone, and this push-pull, which does some interesting stuff. And this is about the easiest way I figured out how to explain it. In the bridge position, right, so we have the switch down, bridge position, and we have volume, tone, full forward, and the switch is pushed down, okay, so normal. We have a humbucker. We pull it up, now we have the humbucker and this single coil mixed. Here we go. Okay. Now we go to the middle position, we have the switch down, we have 2 humbuckers. In the middle position with the switch up, you're going to have a single coil in the neck, the middle coil, and the humbucker bridge. Okay, now we go to the neck position. So with the switch down, neck is just the humbucker. Pull the switch up, now it's the neck coil split, so single coil and single coil. So now you're gonna get that Strat position 4 sound. So essentially you have 6 tones. All right, let's go ahead, and I should probably talk about what we're playing through. I'm playing through a Fender Princeton Reverb 68 reissue, mic'd up with an SM57, and we just have it mic'd up ready to go. And I'm gonna go through a bunch of some of my favorite sounds on this guitar. First, which is a strange thing I really love the bridge clean. A couple other things to note is I mentioned that it's a maple fretboard on a maple neck and that it's a natural finish, at least where it feels natural. One thing I will tell you is the fretboard is not rolled. It's not super sharp, but it's not rolled, so it's not as comfortable as you would normally feel if you were playing more of a core PRS guitar. It just feels a little harsh on the thumb right there. Let's go to the neck position. I gotta say, I really like the all pickups on option. So what I have now is a Zen drive. This is the Love Pedal Zen drive. I have it on. You know, I don't know if it's all the combinations. It's got to be the combinations here, but it's got a very bluesy. Okay, so now let's check out the CE24. And before we get started, a couple things. First, I just want to talk about the rolled fret edge. This one feels pretty much like the Swamp Ash Special. It's a little harsh to the touch. It's not super sharp, but it's definitely not rolled. So something to think about if that's something that concerns you. The other thing I want to talk about was, you know, one thing I really like about this is the original CE24s and 22s, before they were reissued, they had the black headstocks, which I really liked. And then when they reissued them, and now they currently make them in Maryland, they leave the maple exposed. They just don't put anything on it. The CE SEs have decided to go back and put the black headstock on, which I really like. I prefer it. And they did it really nice. In fact, it looks exactly like the original core CEs back in the day. So I'm curious to see, put in the comments down below, do you like that they went back to this? Especially with the ebony fretboard. I think it just looks great, but maybe some of you guys think the maple looks better. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. Now we're still running through the 68 Princeton. We're gonna start with the neck pickup. This does have a coil split. We'll go through that. And here you go, here's your first sound. Now, what's funny is same pickup, but keep in mind, not only can all the components and everything in the guitars just be different, and guitars are just different, but this is 24 frets versus the 22 on that. So it does push this humbucker slightly back just a little bit. Coil split. I really like that. I just like the way it sounds. It sounds really good. Let's go to the middle position. That's another pleasant sound. It really mixes those pickups. Sounds really good of the two pickups. Okay, coil split those. This is funny. It's got that same acousticy sound that I liked on the Swamp Ash. Okay, humbucker. Little bit of mid-range bite. Coil split. Okay, so now I have the Zen drive pedal on. I'm going to start with the neck pickup in humbucker mode. Here we go. So now what I did is I just kicked on my 5150 pedal, and let's just see how it sounds in high gain. So now we checked out all three guitars. We did a quick little micro deep dive on the two new ones, the new models. And of course, I want to give you some final thoughts, but first I want to tell you that you can win this one. We're giving away the Swamp Ash Special guitar. It's pretty simple. There's a link down below. It takes you to the www.knowyourgear podcast website where you just put in your email. You get entered to win this. A randomizer will pull this. I will email you personally. I will even give you my cell phone number, so in case you want to make sure it's me. No one will contact you through social media, and no one's going to ask you for anything. Not any money, not anything. So that's a red flag if you ever get that. This is a really cool guitar. It's basically a $900 guitar, so it's really nice that PRS was able to allow us to pass it on to one of you guys. You do have to be a US resident, you have to be 18. I'm sorry. My final thoughts are, of course, I'm really excited to see the SE line grow. I really love to see that Jack Hickenbotham and the guys at PRS are really trying to make SE its own thing and actually put the core series like on notice, like, hey, you better step up your game, because we're not just hanging around to make copies of you guys. I can't say they're better than core, but I can say that they're definitely got something to give you besides just being an affordable version of. And I think SE has transitioned, and I've said this a couple SE videos ago, has transitioned the whole, hey, this is the affordable version of, to this is something different. You may want this over the core, or this might feel the desire of a core a little better now because of the quality it gives you. So very cool. To you guys, I just want to say I want to thank you for your time. As always, I appreciate the time you give me. And till the next time, know your gear.